an eargasm of learning and a no-fuss show. Welcome to the Creative Talk Podcast, where you can learn straightforward topics about branding, digital entrepreneurship, online business, and many more with your charming host, John Santos, along with inspiring entrepreneurs, creators, and thought leaders worldwide.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Creative Talk Podcast. In our special live session here on LinkedIn, we have a very special guest. Let's all welcome ESTHER SAIES, Executive Transition Coach, Success and Leadership Coach, a good friend, business partner. Welcome to the show, my friend. And we have Martin Stark, also the Courage Champion, the amazing Martin Stark. Welcome to the show. So, Esther, I'm excited to dig in, to learn, and to, just have a conversation with you about our topic. But before that, I want you to introduce yourself. Tell us who you are and what's happening in your journey. Esther, the floor is yours, my friend.
Thank you, Jan, for this opportunity. This is my first podcast, so I'm excited and nervous, but it's, a real honor to be on here. So a little bit about me. As you stated, I'm an executive transition coach, and I work with seasoned executives to help them smoothly navigate their shift from long-term corporate careers or roles into new ventures. So basically, my role is to provide the guidance and support they need to gain clarity on their goals, empowering them to build confidence in their abilities and develop clear strategic and contingency plans. I was that person 9 years ago. And so just to share a little bit about my journey, Jan, my journey of transformation began nearly 19 years ago, where my world was shattered when my husband suffered a massive heart attack. And that was just 4 days from us realizing our dream of becoming business owners. And although he survived, tragically, he was left with hypoxic brain injury, having to relearn how to walk and talk, and he could never work again, and he was 44. In the midst of this personal heartbreak, I was a corporate executive for a multinational company, in modes of caring X, one of them being an ERP project. So by July 2015, after losing both my husband, completely longer had meaning for me. So after 30-year career, I made the decision to leave, stepping into the unknown and transferring my skills to become a business consultant for small and medium-sized businesses. But as I helped others grow, I realized how disconnected I had been from my own personal growth for so long. I was yearning for something more, more purpose, more meaning, more alignment with who I truly was. And as I worked on myself, deepening my spiritual journey and stepping out of my comfort zone, I found strength and clarity in building a life on my own terms. And so what I did was I invested in my own personal development. I partnered with coaches and mentors, and I tested my resolve and resilience at every turn. It was hard, and it is still hard, but oh my goodness, it was freeing and empowering, and it continues to be. And then finally, COVID hit, and it impacted all of us, as we know. But it became clear to me that my true passion was to help professionals like me navigate transitions just as I had. And that's when I created my own business, guiding others to confidently step into their next chapter and embrace change with clarity and purpose.
Wow.
So that's my story.
Wow.
Jan.
Wow. I love that, Esther. You mentioned a powerful word there, confidence. And that is something that really can change the game. For everyone here, it may sound like a simple word, it may sound like a bit small, but really confidence can revolutionize your brand and bring it to the next level. Or it can, there's a saying, make or break your journey. So that brings us to our main topic, which is how to unlock your next chapter with confidence. Before I give the floor back to Esther and Martin here that will talk about confidence, I would like to welcome Paul and Amaka that join us. Guys, if you want to ask a question or add something about the topic, please feel free, raise your hand so I can bring you up. So, Esther, the floor is yours. Any tips that you want to share on how to unlock your next chapter with confidence? The floor is yours, my friend.
Well, a few tips come to mind straight away. The first one is around facing adversity. In life, we all face adversity, and it comes down to making a choice. You can let it consume you, or you can confront your fears and learn from the experience and keep moving forward. Facing adversity means making a choice. Another one that comes to mind is, courage is about facing your fears. And it's when you're a leader, you normally call the shots and people come to you and you make, you're the decision maker, the main decision maker. But what I have learned is it's okay to be vulnerable and, to surround yourself with role models who inspire courage. Also, and to me, when I went into business, the stories we tell ourselves can limit us, and holding on to the past prevents growth. So changing your mindset can change your entire outlook on life. I can go on and on, but let's pass it on to Martin, and then perhaps I can add to that as well, Jan.
Sure. You actually mentioned the word courage, and Martin here can really focus on the core of that word. So for everyone listening on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube Podcast, we have another. He's a regular on the show. He's our business partner, a good friend, a good mentor here on LinkedIn. So Martin, let's bring it to the next level. Talk about, your journey and going it to the next level with confidence and courage. The floor is yours, my friend.
I define courage as taking ownership of fear, venturing forward with confidence and resilience. Most of us have all been for a job interview, and there's a process which I refer to as the courage bank. There's the memories, times we've overcome adversity, problems, challenges. Those memories which we can imprint on our mind, and is very different to your fifth lesson. It's very different from you passing your driving test. You learn and you grow. When you go for a job interview, you have to become the star of your own story, because a job interview question follows the STAR framework: situation, task, action, result. So with those courage bank memories, times when you've been courageous, times you've learnt from a failure, times you've overcome a problem, if you can tap into those memories, tap into those experiences, tap into that wisdom, when you're facing something in the future, you have all of that to leverage, all of that to learn from and propel yourself forward. So it's really how I look at really anchoring memories, anchoring experiences to really take you to that next level of confidence.
Wow, solid. I have a question for you guys. This is actually one of the top 5 questions that I got from Instagram. What are the top 3 basic tips that you guys can share on how to boost confidence? I don't know if the context of this question is about, in general, but the backstory of the person who asked this or shared this is she is a content creator. So what are 3 tips that you can share on how to boost confidence in creating content, showing up on events like this, sharing values, bringing your brand to the next level? Let's start with you, Esther.
I think the first thing for me is knowing who you are, your identity, who you're showing up as, because you can't fake it. So it's about knowing who you are. And for me, myself, I had to go through a whole transformation process where, I had this identity in corporate. I was a leader. I was a corporate executive. And even when I left, people still, my network still identified me as that person, really working hard on uncovering the layers of who I was, my identity. And when you know who you are, all the outside noise and so forth doesn't matter, because you are living your authentic life and being your authentic self. So that's one for me. The other thing is, having clarity in your vision. You have to know where you want to go. You have to know where you want to go. Otherwise, you're basically, driving around aimlessly, having no sense of direction. So it's very important that you have clarity in your vision. And I try goals and achieve, important journaling for that. Just gives you, clarity, appreciation. Wow, did I just do that? And here I am now. And embracing failure as part of the journey and getting back up stronger, not sweating on the small stuff and focusing on what truly matters. And as the famous Tony Robbins says, where focus goes, energy flows.
Ooh, love that. Something that hit me really strong is do not be too hard on yourself. It really makes a big difference when you have that mindset reset, that take it easy, enjoy the small stuff, because those are important steps as well to bring you to the next level. Relax and celebrate small wins. That is something that can really bring you to the next level. Martin, 3 tips that you can share that can solidify or bring your confidence to the next level, because for everyone listening, I just want to add this before I give the mic to Martin. He is also, aside from a mentor and a coach, he's also an advocate of the LGBTQ plus community, and the bombardment that this guy receives in sports industry, in lifestyle industry, is tremendous. Why? How do I know? Because he's more than a business partner. He's a friend. He's a best friend. So and after those hits, he's still going forward. He's still showing compassion, kindness, and a solid and powerful confidence to share values and to share kindness. That's why I'm excited to know about your tips, Martin. 3 tips that can bring confidence to the next level. The floor is yours, my friend.
First tip is start with what happens next and learning from the mistakes or succeeding. When you're brave, it is much more probable that you will achieve than if you're fearful. The second tip is actually committing to your values. We are in the era of misinformation and erosion of trust. But when your integrity is on the line, when people know you stand for what you believe in and you're consistently committing to your values, that deepens trust, it enhances your reputation. And the final point is actually make courage the norm. If you can make courage the norm for people around you, maybe people you lead, people part of your organization you work with, your customers, your co-workers, if you can model courageous behaviors and inspire other people to be courageous and accepting where they are at, reinforcing that with positive language, then you actually create what I call a courage cascade. It's where there's an abundance of courage around you. And Jan mentioned the LGBTQ plus community. Earlier this year, one of Vladimir Putin's friends shared a story about me on his Facebook page. I do a lot calling out homophobia in combat sports. There was an article published and he shared that. Now, when you're annoying one of Vladimir Putin's friends, it's not a good thing to be doing, but it was just a Facebook post. So you don't know who you're going to be used.
Love that. What's here for you, Martin? Esther, anything that you want to add, a conclusion about bringing your brand to the next level with confidence? The floor is yours. Esther?
Yep, I'm here. Yes, well, again, just reiterating what Martin has said about courage. And again, just, it's okay to be vulnerable and to surround yourself with the right people, believe in yourself, and show up as your authentic self. Yeah.
Love that. Love that. Again, I want to welcome Amaka, Paul, Liana, and Leslie joining us. If you missed the first part of this session, you can check it later on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube Podcasts. It will be uploaded there as an episode featuring Esther Says together with the amazing Martin Stark. If you guys have any questions, please do raise your hand so I can bring you up on stage. If not, we will proceed to the next part where we ask our guest here, how can we help you? So starting with you, Martin, how can we help you? What do you want us to do? Anything you want to promote? The floor is yours, my friend.
So in a few weeks, my first book, Courage, Your Right Hook, will be published. And it's about learning the 6 pillars of courage and making courage a habit. So it's been a huge task for me the last 4 months. I've always wanted to publish a book. So you can support me by getting word out there. And if you want to, buy and read the book. Thanks, Jen. Thanks,
Love
Esther.
you. Love you, love you, love you. Yes, please do check Martin's LinkedIn page and see the content that he shares. And stay tuned for the book. I'm sure that can revolutionize your business and brand journey. Esther, my friend, anything that you want to promote? How can we help you? Where can we find you? The floor is yours, my friend.
Okay, so I've just launched my second program called the Inside Out Navigator program. And basically the problem that I solve is I basically guide executives through the uncertain transition from their long-term corporate roles to new ventures, basically tackling their fears, their limitations, and lack of support, and providing a clear, actionable plan to help them rediscover their worth, build confidence, create a strategic exit plan, and successfully navigate their next chapter. Now, I've been there. I was that person 9 years ago, and I'm wanting to help them fast track and, give them that confidence to go forth in their next chapter with clarity and purpose.
Love that. Love that. Guys, please do check Esther's LinkedIn page, Facebook page, and Instagram page. You will see all the content that they're promoting. And please do connect with her so she can explain and mentor you on how to bring your brand to the next level. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Esther, so much. And thank you, Martin. And by the way, I am excited because, like what Esther mentioned a while ago, this is the first ever podcast that she experienced. And this is the start of her, online content making journey. We will be helping her in creating and releasing her own podcast so that she can connect, share values, and have a conversation for everyone to know what she can offer, and how to bring your brand to the next level.
Thank you for being with us here on the Creative Talk Podcast. I'm your host, John Santos. Don't forget to listen and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. See you again, always.